Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on a scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Google Chrome. You think you know a browser, but Gemini and Chrome? That's new. It can help you with practically anything on the web, like restoring a vintage motorcycle from a 50-page restoration blog, or finally break down that long article you've had open for weeks. Gemini and Chrome is here for it. Ready to make anything online make sense? There's no place like Chrome. Check responses, setup required, compatibility and availability varies, 18+.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 10 wings for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 8 tenders for $10. Thursday, 10 wings for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for... Ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday, only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Prices and participation variable. Supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
Hello.
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together, we have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
The comments made by Amin Elhassan are made by him and him himself and nobody else, and not indicative of Basketball Illuminati, Tom Haberstroh, Anthony Mays, or any guest incorporated.
Again, it feels like we're all the Financial Times or Wall Street Journal.
I hate it.
We no longer can cover the NBA as basketball junkies. We now have to be finance gurus, because this latest story that just came across my timeline, I'm reading it and I'm going, I'm sorry, is there anything untoward about what just happened here? Or is it just that it's Guggenheim? LeBron James secured a loan at $300 million from insurers. The bonds will pay back in 2049. And this came, in 2019? Something around there, 2019, when he borrowed $300 million, got $300 million in cash. That seems like a pretty good deal.
Sure. Where'd he get it from? Did he go to Wells Fargo or?
Oh, turns out Guggenheim, which 2 weeks ago, I don't think anyone cares.
Never heard of it until 2 weeks ago. Now, can't get enough Guggenheim.
We got to connect some dots here. Guggenheim backed these loans to LeBron James in 2019, months before he signed with the Lakers. But this is where it falls apart. Isn't it just like LeBron got a nice payday, cash payday against his future earnings because he can do that with the Nike contract?
There's nothing to fall apart, right? Because it was cleared through the NBA. Not a big deal other than this is interesting because we learned this name Guggenheim. But it is not unlike what LeBron, or I should say Gloria James, did in 2002, right? Where it's like, I'm going to go buy my baby, my high school senior, a Hummer, an H2 Hummer. And it's like, wait a sec, Gloria, where do you have the income to qualify for a loan for an H2 Hummer? It's real simple. The guy in the finance department is like, I think they're going to be good on this loan. I don't think they're going to default on this. The idea is that, yes, because of future earnings, you're able to take out loans backed by that. That is your collateral. In 2002, 2003, obviously there wasn't a whole lot known of how much he's going to make, whatever, but it was clear that it would be enough to pay off a Hummer. In 2019, we have hundreds of millions of dollars of future money that's guaranteed to come in. It's basically J.G. Wentworth.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.
If you have an annuity and you need cash now, call Guggenheim 877 cash now.
But Walter wasn't even a minority owner with the Lakers at this point.
Yes.
He didn't do that till 2021.
That's right.
So is this magic?
Like capital M magic?
Magic Johnson. Not magic.
Do you believe in magic?
Magic was with the Lakers in 2018 when they signed LeBron James, and he was also friends with Mark Walter and involved with the Dodgers.
Absolutely.
So is that the connection there?
It might be, but again, that doesn't mean there's something untoward that happened.
Well, the untoward part, I mean, is that it was unreported.
What do you mean unreported? Like not public knowledge?
It was unreported until right now. We're finding out about this loan today, this week.
We're finding out about it. The NBA knew about it, though, because again, and I will read from the Bloomberg article verbatim here, both transactions were independently credit rated by a third party, and the 2022 transaction was fully approved by the NBA.
Like they approved the aspiration deal for the jersey patch? That Adam Silver had no idea who Aspiration was? What are we talking about?
It was news to me. I'd frankly never heard of the company Aspiration before, and I'd never heard a whiff of anything around an endorsement deal with Kawhi or anything around engagement with the Los Angeles Clippers. So it was all new to me.
Why does the NBA need to know about this is my question.
They do, because someone's giving you money.
So every sponsorship, this is kind of what I think is at stake here with the Aspiration deal is, does the NBPA need the NBA to sign off on every sponsorship deal or money deal that every NBA player, every financial transaction?
Yes and no. Not every transaction, but when the transaction is orchestrated through the team, it's not that, hey, you can't get this money. It's just like, hey, let's just make sure that this isn't what it might be. And in the case of this, a securities-backed loan, in essence, I don't think there's anything untoward with that. But absolutely, I would want the league to know. To use May's term, I wouldn't want us to find out just now.
All right, so here's the story. A few months after the deal, James started looking for another team as a free agent, ultimately picking the Lakers. In an oft-retold moment, he received a visit at home from Walter's longtime business partner, Magic Johnson.
There it is.
Do you believe in magic?
Then a top executive for the Lakers, James ultimately signed a 4-year contract. Then in mid-August 2022, James signed a $97 million contract extension with the Lakers. Now, this is, according to Bloomberg, around the same time, the same Midwestern insurers provided his LLC with more cash, buying almost $60 million of 34-year bonds with a 5.75% interest rate, the insurers' records show. James' spokesperson said both transactions were independently credit rated by a third party, and the 2022 transaction was fully approved by the NBA, noting the athlete had no affiliation with Guggenheim Salmon's North American company or Midland National beyond their participation in the transactions.
What was that LLC called? Do you think it was LBJ23 Goog?
Tom Gugliotta is just looking like the meme, like, me? Why am I in this? Why am I involved? Oh, Tommy Googs.
That's interesting. So that's a connection to Walter before Walter was involved with the team and long before Walter bought and sold the Lakers. I wonder if there's any other Mark Walter connections floating out there.
Well, I was just going to say, is it the whole story here? Guggenheim owns everything. So, of course, there's going to be some transactions affiliated with Guggenheim, guys. I mean, how big can Guggenheim be?
That's basically what Mark Walter is being accused of, is making that kind of loan, but rather than to another person, to his own company, not reporting it, and also going past whatever the limit is on how much you can. So it makes sense, but then also it got me thinking, maybe Mays is right. What if Magic Johnson sat down in part of his pitch, hey, you have an annuity, but you need cash now. Call Magic Johnson, 877 cash now. How does that factor into your free agency pitch?
It's like a billionaire version of a payday loan, except they don't gouge you with interest on the back end.
I mean, wouldn't this all be solved by the great Amin reform proposal of not having max contracts? Because then you could just be like, we'll pay you this amount of money. We don't have to get these insurers to come in, or we don't have to get this Aspiration carbon credit company to come in and give you money.
Yeah, you, the owner, you make that loan, and then you just give me the money. as a contract.
I think it would still exist because a salary cap exists. So
true.
I can pay LeBron what I want, and then I can still pay him more, right? Or I can pay him less on the books and then turn around and recoup him on the back end. I think the salary cap, this is a problem that would never happen in baseball. They just pay you. The reason why we even have this as an issue is because I can't just pay you and not have to worry about anything else.
Wait, I think Bloomberg does have the LLC name. Did you guys see it?
No, what is it?
The two companies bought almost $300 million worth of bonds issued by an LLC he controlled called King James Funding.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice. That's better branding, honestly, than that KL2 umbrella.
Let me just say this right now. To all NBA players, agents, and managers who might listen to this podcast.
It's unsolicited advice from Amin.
If you're going to work around, I'm not going to call it cap circumvention. I'm not going to call it. If you're going to make workarounds, maybe call the LLC some shit that no one can easily tie back to you.
Look, man.
TV LLC.
You know.
Red Shack Carpet LLC, whatever.
We live in the day and age where you've got to make 50 plus passwords. And if you're rich, you got to make 50 LLC titles. You get tired. You get tired of being creative, you know?
Just call it what it is.
Just call it what it is. I'm King James, and this is my funding.
I need funding.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm LeBron, I'm just like, dude, Guggenheim's huge. They have a lot of financial instruments that I can get $300 million in cash, and end of story. I'm sorry.
Could I go back to, I legit had never heard of Guggenheim until this. Tom, I know your brother works in finance, so I'm assuming you've come across the name before?
Yes.
I've never heard of Guggenheim before this, and now it feels like I can't get enough Guggenheim in my news. All my basketball news, all my sports news is Guggenheimed out.
Sports news?
You want some more Guggenheim?
More Guggenheim? What else? Who would they give a loan now?
Oh, do you hear that long inhale from 49ers fan?
All right, let me just take a deep breath here. Okay, my Monday news cycle quite derailed, but when Jed York had graduated from Notre Dame with his degrees in history and finance.
Wait, who's Jed York?
Jed York, current owner of the San Francisco 49ers. He graduated from Notre Dame and he worked as a financial analyst for about a year before he quit to go home and work for the family business, the 49ers. He worked at Guggenheim Partners.
Get the fuck out of here.
Come on.
Enough shtick. Please. We beg you.
Are we living in an alternate reality where every story is now tied to Guggenheim?
I mean, what I love about this is that Guggenheim was founded in 1999 and Jed York graduated in 2001, 2000.
Oh, so he went to work for a startup.
Startup Guggenheim.
He was in at the ground floor, you might say.
I like the idea that there's some folks at Guggenheim this week who are like, Jesus fucking Christ. If I'm stressed about them being in my news cycle, how about how they feel?
Not Jed. Jed, what are you doing?
Please don't find out. Please don't find out. Please don't find out. Shit, they found out.
My assignment. Uncover why the association inspires more conspiracy theories in volume and salience than any other U.S. sport.
You've heard of the Illuminati.
The truth is out there, but so are lies.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
The NBA has always been controlled by about 8 people.
Denial is the most predictable of all human responses.
If you're only using 10% of your brain, you don't even know that you're using 10% of your brain.
The NBA Illuminati.
If coincidences are just coincidences, why do they feel so contrived?
The Illuminati.
But you start to follow the money, and you don't know where the f*** it's going to take you.
It is unspoken. They have influence among other players.
The NBA Illuminati.
I don't have time for your convenient ignorance.
Maybe I'm a conspiracist now as well.
That's all it took. Oh, we got books, we got schools. You saw a video on YouTube.
Why my eyes, sir? You've never used them before.
We are the basketball Illuminati.
This is Basketball Illuminati. I am Tom Haberstroh. And as always, we are joined by the 5-star Illuminarmy General and Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, Amin Elhassan.
Yeah.
And Anthony Mays.
Did you mention that you're a doctor?
What's up, Illumination? Thank you for keeping your third eye open. As always, you can support us at patreon.com/countthedings. That'll get you ad-free episodes and help us continue to produce the show. Also, check out our YouTube page at Basketball Illuminati. You can watch our Truth Teller interviews and Do You Believe episodes there. Please subscribe and continue to show your support. Thank you.
Later in the program, we're going to have a return of True Hoop, the enterprise truth-seeking journalist, former boss at ESPN, now at truehoop.com. Lots of great stuff from Henry Abbott on the new ownership changes and the NBA's latest scandals that are afoot. Henry Abbott joining us. But first,
you are listening to The Agenda with Amin Elhassan and Tom Haberstroh.
oh, there's actual NBA news? Wait, like actual basketball news?
Yeah, it feels crazy to talk about players again.
Wow.
I was getting real settled into this August ownership news cycle, never stopping.
Summer of Adam.
But no, I mean, I guess technically this is an ownership story, Tom.
Oh, what story are we talking about here?
The old Denver Nuggets shipping out Peyton Watson.
Oh, yeah.
For a whole bunch of nothing because they don't want to pay the luxury tax.
Who among us?
Jokic. How does he feel? It is nuts, man. I call this Jokic privilege. The Nuggets are enjoying a lot of Nikola Jokic privilege, that they don't have to worry about what the superstar thinks now that we're selling off all our good players. We don't have KCP. We don't have Michael Porter Jr., no longer Peyton Watson, a 23-year-old who was averaging 26 and 5 when Jokic was sidelined and still had a bunch of good games with him. And 23 years old, let's get rid of that guy. At $22 million, we can't have him on our team. We're going to trade him to the Cavaliers for Evan Mobley. Okay, I'm good with that. Evan Mobley. Oh,
No.
Not quite.
Okay. Max Strus. They got Max Strus, good three-point shooter, defender.
Max Strus got traded, but not to Denver. You see, Tom, the big problem here lies in everyone's favorite piece of kitchen paraphernalia, the aprons.
Yes.
I like to wear two to make sure I don't get anything on my shirt.
On the back?
Yeah, I made some bacon this weekend, and you got to do double apron.
You go front to back on it?
I'm not doing a lot of backwards cooking. I'm more stacking aprons on top of each other.
Oh, got it.
It's a second apron. Yeah.
So because Denver is in the second apron, they could not receive anything in return in a sign and trade out other than a trade exception. A trade exception that, of course, they also can't use while they're in the second apron. As you guys know, Basketball Illuminati is a lot about connecting dots. It's the Pepe Silvia board with strings attached all over, letting you know what that all means, which, by the way, I'd like to confess in a very Tom Haberstroh fashion. It was only a few months, maybe a year ago, that I realized Pepe Silvia was Charlie's illiterate way of reading the word Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. It's everywhere.
Pepe Silvia, Pepe.
There's that name again. It's on every letter.
It's incredible. That realization hit me so hard.
Attention to detail.
So, here we go, guys. It starts in the summertime with the World Cup. World Cup is happening. Everyone's excited. News cycle is going full bore. Boom. But as a result, LeBron James, who's a free agent, cannot declare where he's going because he wants his day in the spotlight, and he's not going to share it with Cabo Verde drawing Uruguay to a tie or whatever. So, what does he do? He waits until the end of the World Cup. World Cup final happens. At the end of that week, LeBron announces, I'm going to Philadelphia. Well, as a result, watch all the dominoes go. Meanwhile, a very, very hopelessly capped out, aproned out Denver Nuggets. They got to say goodbye to Tim Hardaway Jr. They got to say goodbye to Bruce Brown. They got to say goodbye to Jonas Valanciunas. They're holding on for dear life. And it's like, how can we make this happen without restricted free agent Peyton Watson, who's looking at Christian Brown's contract and saying, I'm not going to get less than that. While they're trying to figure this out, the moment LeBron says, I'm going to Philadelphia, the remaining LeBron suitors, Cleveland, Miami, and Denver, were also kind of hoping maybe LeBron will come here, right? they all turn their keys and start going nuclear.
Wait, so is Mark Stodd a result of LeBron going to Philly? Was that another domino?
And Minnesota also.
He's like, all right, now we can get some clarity on whether LeBron is coming or not.
I wouldn't be surprised Mark Lowry was like, oh, hell no, I'm not selling. I get LeBron now, and I'm holding on to this toy for a little bit. So Cleveland says, LeBron's not coming, cool. Hey, James Harden, you're an impending free agent. Just hold on tight. Let's see what other magic we can work up here while you are still a free agent, and it's just a cap hold rather than your actual salary. So they start shipping guys out hither and thither. Meanwhile, Sam Presti in Oklahoma City says, I have a rival in Denver. Let me screw them over. So what does Sam Presti do? He puts in an offer sheet for Peyton Watson? No, for Spencer Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Jones, who only signs for an offer sheet for like $6 million on the first year of that deal. Very affordable, very matchable, except for the fact that, man, if the Nuggets match this, they go to the second apron.
Quick tangent. Did you see Spencer Jones's very patting himself on the back tweet about how he always bets on himself and that this is the result of his business savvy?
Yeah, he's a financial guru.
Or actually, he's just a pawn in Sam Presti's game, but I digress. Go on.
He knows who Guggenheim is. He's always known.
He had an internship.
Because Sam Presti puts in an offer sheet for Spencer Jones, the Denver Nuggets move above the second apron. Now they have some serious problems about how much can we pay Peyton Watson, because then we're hopelessly locked in. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Cavaliers miss out on LeBron James, who signed with Philadelphia, say, okay, we're going to put together an offer sheet for Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson, rather than sign the offer sheet, the Denver Nuggets realize they have to play ball and they've got to cooperate. And so as a result, they go ahead and do this sign and trade, which gets them a player exception that they cannot use until they go down below the second apron, which probably won't happen until after the season's over. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat were also waiting on LeBron. They say, you know what? I'm going to sign Klay Thompson, who we've been waiting for a buyout. Klay Thompson has gotten his buyout. Now, Klay Thompson is in Miami, who also are, by the way, a hard cap at the first apron. So because Klay Thompson is Miami's pick, DeMar DeRozan says, boom, let me go to Denver, who now have a need for offense because Peyton Watson is gone. And all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is because LeBron took his time with his decision.
And that's interesting because who represents Peyton Watson?
Clutch Sports.
Oh.
Podcaster. Rich Paul.
Did you see Rich Paul saying that maybe someone had to advise Peyton Watson not to rush back from his hamstring injury last playoffs?
He was dealing with a hamstring injury, soft tissue injury. And when you're dealing with those injuries, you have to be very careful in your return. Guys want to play. You have to protect them from themselves in that moment because you're up for a contract and it's important to protect that.
Yeah. Okay. And James Harden was so gracious to take a slightly reduced salary to make room for Peyton Watson's new home.
And to wait to take that slightly reduced salary. That's the other part.
He's now cleared the $500 million club.
This is a fun game, by the way. Do you guys know how many players are in the $500 million club, the half a bill?
Well, LeBron took out a loan for $300 million.
Right.
So put him in there.
Yes, LeBron is in there. By the way, this is including future earnings. Anyone who's on the books.
Oh, so if they've signed a contract, they're already in there.
So they signed a contract, yes.
Is Tobias Harris in that club yet?
Tobias is not.
He's at 300 as of this year. He's got another 30 coming to him.
Yeah, Tobias is at 331.
Steph?
Tom, stop looking it up. The whole point of the game is I don't look it up when you ask me these questions.
Oh, I was just looking at Tobias Harris.
Steph, LeBron, James Harden.
Yes.
Kevin Durant.
Yes. Kevin Durant's number one.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook is not a $500 million club member.
Ooh. And he retired, so he missed out.
Well, Shea and Luka.
Nope.
You said the money that they've been promised not yet kicked in?
Yes.
Okay.
There's only 6 guys in this club.
Okay, so we got 4.
Kevin Durant, LeBron, Steph Curry, and James Harden. Those 4 for sure. There are 2 more. The answer might shock you.
Okay. Man, that's good.
Just to follow up, Shea's 34th on the list at $322 million. Luka is 24th on the list with $358 million.
So this is a list that's already been populated.
Paul George.
Paul George is number 4, $517 million.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
One last guy.
What do you think his LLC is called?
Playoff P.
No.
Payday P?
Profit P, yeah, something like that.
Profit P.
Okay, one more.
Is it DeMar DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan is not on the list. Too many years of not making max. DeMar DeRozan is 35th on the list, $318 million.
Is it Giannis?
Giannis just on the outside. He's number 8 on the list, $459 million, but we all expect him to surpass that with his next deal.
Please tell me it's Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal not on the 16th on the list, $414 million.
Ooh.
That would have been fantastic.
Is it Dame?
Damian Lillard, 9th on the list, $456 million. I don't know if Dame is going to get there.
Is it Kale to Aspire?
Kale to Aspire is 13th on the list, $426 million.
All right. Slightly older than those guys. We're talking about 2 years of deals.
No. Here's a hint. Not older than Kawhi, not older than Damian Lillard.
Did this player play once for the Utah Jazz?
Never.
Oh, man.
This player has only played for one team in his career.
I thought we were going to get an appearance from this certain player.
Devin Booker? Too young.
Devin Booker, 10th on the list, $451 million.
Only played on Tatum.
Jason Tatum is 19th on the list, $398 million.
Is it Mr. Brown of the Philadelphia 76ers?
Give me a full name, please.
Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown, $420 million, 15th, but you are extremely hot. Let me put it that way.
Oh.
Embiid.
Joel Embiid.
Stop.
509. He's due to make more at this point. Then Harden, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler. All those guys are ahead of him in draft classes, older than him.
And Embiid has played with Harden.
Yep.
Played with Paul George.
Yep.
And is about to play with LeBron. So it's only Steph and KD on the 500 million club that haven't passed through Philadelphia yet.
They did play on Team USA, though, with Joel Embiid.
If they were all on the court at the same time, that's 2.5 bill.
I think more than that, right?
My favorite thing about this is there's 3 retired names on this top 50 list. Number 29, a guy who literally, his contract made them change the CBA, Kevin Garnett. $334 million. That puts him a hair shy of Bam Adebayo at 337. And a couple spots before De'Aaron Fox at 347. Yeah. Then you've got a guy who ruptured his Achilles and still got the Brinks truck. It's Kobe Bryant, $323 million in career earnings. That puts him a hair behind Chris Middleton at 327 and puts him $4 million roughly behind the aforementioned Tobias Harris.
323, you said?
323.
What's 3 plus 2 plus 3?
8. There you go. Okay. And then at number 47, Shaquille O'Neal.
Now what you going to do, Mr. Statistician Face Man?
Career earnings of $286 million, which puts him a hair behind Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, yeah.
287. It's so crazy.
That's got to kill him, right? If Shaq found that out. That's next time you see Shaq.
Yeah, but did Domantas Sabonis put any of that money in Google? I don't think so.
And Uber, and Papa John's, and Icy Hot, and The General.
This is going to be a long podcast if you keep going.
And by the way, Shaq allegedly never spent a single dollar of that $286 million.
You know what Shaq also has?
What's that?
Creative LLC names.
Oh, what's it? Diesel.
The man has more nicknames than anyone in the world.
I am Kazam.
Shaqtus. The Big Aristotle. Each one of those could be an LLC.
Yep.
And I'm investing.
Speaking of investing, if you haven't invested in TrueHoop.com, a subscription with one of the best journalism you'll find on sports and the money trail, Henry Abbott joins us now.
Folks, let me tell you, especially when I was younger, banking sucked. Put this amount of money in to open an account, but we're going to take this amount of money every month. And oh, you were 34 cents over. We're going to charge you $35 in overdraft charges, all this stuff. And you're just giving away money to a bank who was supposed to hold your money. Well, not with Chime. Chime is changing the way people bank. They offer the most rewarding fee-free banking. This is fee-free banking built for you, not like traditional old banks that charge you overdraft and monthly fees. They have thousands of fee-free ATMs. Imagine getting your own money out without having to pay. Incredible idea, right? You're not just switching banks. You're upgrading to America's #1 choice for banking with a Chime checking account. You get 5% cash back on Chime Card in a category of choice like gas or groceries. They also have Spot Me, which lets you overdraft up to $200 fee-free. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. Head to chime.com/basketball. That is chime.com/basketball. It only takes a few minutes to sign up.
Chime is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services and Chime Card provided by Chime's bank partners. Qualifying direct deposits required. Terms and limits apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
This episode is brought to you by Google Chrome. You think you know a browser, but Gemini and Chrome? That's new. It can help you with practically anything on the web, like restoring a vintage motorcycle from a 50-page restoration blog, or finally break down that long article you've had open for weeks. Gemini and Chrome is here for it. Ready to make anything online make sense? There's no place like Chrome. Check responses, setup required, compatibility and availability varies, 18+.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Hello? Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together. We have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, zero tears.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
You all think I'm late. Well, I'm not late. And I'm going to stay right here and fight for this lost cause, even if this room gets filled with lies like these. And the Taylors and all their armies come marching into this place. Somebody will listen to me.
There's no better way to overpower a trickle of doubt than with a flood of naked truth.
But the complexity and the gray lie not in the truth, but what you do with the truth once you have it.
What is true and right is true and right for all.
You and I both know that that's just not the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
It's too messy. Keeps them up nights.
I'm here because in the end, the truth is worth the risk.
Speak a little truth and people lose their minds.
I'm a grown man. You can tell me the truth.
Why is it people who want the truth never believe it when they hear it?
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something really outrageous. I'm going to tell the truth.
We recorded, Henry, last week, Friday, about the new sale. We had already another sale in the NBA since last week when we tried to get you on. And you were in the process of going to Boston or something or other, and we couldn't get you on the show. But since then, we've got another sale in the NBA backed by a private equity guy. And we have figured out that he has some ties through a 1999 CBS News article that we found to, what was his name again, Amin?
Joe Sandberg.
Mark Stad.
Yeah.
We don't know his name.
To Joe Sandberg. Yeah.
No.
So Mark Stad, the owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves, was the head of the Harvard Democrats back in the day, and he was succeeded by a one Joe Sandberg at Harvard, and they were quoted in the same article. And I thought like some weird time warp, just like all the worlds are blending together like that. What movie was that with Allison Brie and Dave Franco when they just like start blending together?
Yeah, I remember it was a horror movie.
Yeah, that's what our lives in the NBA are, Henry, is that all the different stories, the disparate seeming stories are now just coming together.
Like every dumbass who thought the world was like you talking about the Bilderbergers in like 1984,
it's like, come on, man, like it's not how it works. You know, the Illuminati or whatever. Like they were wrong. They had done bad research, but it's like they're a little righter than I want to let on now. You know what I mean? Like it's a little more like, okay, maybe there is a secret meeting in the woods, and this is how the world is decided. And like, sorry, I saw that crap about you in high school. Like I take it back.
Here's my theory, Henry, is that no, that's not what happened. But what happened was all those people read all those books and said, that's actually not a bad idea. Why don't we have like a secret society and just run everything?
We
and
can do this, you guys.
Yeah.
The startup mentality. Like, yeah. Blitz scaling, let's go.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen Henry's piece about the NBA, his piece on Tuesday that just came out on truehoop.com, Henry's piece, because it kind of taps into what you and Pablo were working on, the Ballmer investigation, and that the NBA came out with a statement saying that there are numerous untruths or I don't know if they use the word lies.
Inaccuracies is what they called.
Yeah, and in the immediate aftermath of that, people were like, yeah, well, they investigated Terry Rozier too, and it turned out that there was some stuff going on with Terry Rozier. I mean,
so the Terry Rozier thing is an excellent example of the NBA is run by lawyers. Because they never closed the investigation and they never declared any findings from the investigation. They simply just stopped investigating without kind of letting on any sort of closure. They kind of led us to the water and then we just, oh yeah, there's water. They want us to drink. It's like, I never told you to drink that water. So the Terry Rozier thing is very different versus this where they're refuting a report. They're saying it contains inaccuracies. They never did that with Terry Rozier. They never did that with our reporting of the entire aspiration saga and now the Daktronics part of it. So the fact that they came out so quickly and so vehemently speaking out against this report, Henry, what do you read into that?
I just took from it that like the Mike Bass statement will be forgettable when the report comes out. And so they just had a bad news day. You know, the ESPN report looks like the NBA's, like the report basically said, oh my goodness, despite Pulitzer Prize winning, see, I pronounced it correctly, podcast
Thank you.
lining up all the evidence, making it super clear that this happened. We're going to say it didn't happen. And that's a terrible news day. So they just fuzzed up a bad news day. And then in the future, they can roll out whatever they want, and no one will care what Mike Bass said that day.
Yeah, but your story reminded me of the Terry Rozier piece, and also the Tim Donaghy scandal. That the Tim Donaghy scandal? I was kind of going back into my notes about the Tim Donaghy scandal. That the NBA in David Stern's press conference immediately after the story becomes public, that there is an NBA referee who is being investigated for betting on his own games, et cetera, et cetera. David Stern had said, well, we did investigate Tim Donaghy a couple years back for a dispute that he had with a neighbor. And one of the allegations with that dispute was that he was a gambling maniac or whatever. And
I think that he lit his neighbor's lawnmower on fire, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, that's a favorite fact I wanted to add there.
Which is just a great detail. You know, who among us has not lit their neighbor's lawnmower
when we
on
make
fire?
the movie, that's going to be a fucking scene, you know?
It'll be the opening scene. It'll be the opening scene. Just the lawnmower on fire in the middle of the night. Neighbors just standing out there.
He's got the lighter fluid, just dumping it all over his fucking head.
Oh, no,
weeks earlier.
I've got it already on fire. And then we see kind of the curtain from Donaghy's house open, and he just makes sure that you see that he did it.
So so David Stern says, yeah, we looked into Tim Donaghy and the allegations that he was gambling, and we called around all the casinos in Atlantic City and in Vegas, and they all said they had no record of Tim Donaghy gambling at their casinos. So it's almost like, all right, there's a clear bar, or there's a bright line between we did not find evidence that he was gambling and Henry, he did not gamble.
Yeah, it's
So like the idea that we did not find evidence that they circumvented the cap, that's different than they did not circumvent the cap. It's just a higher bar that they can kind of, anybody in a legal case can hide behind. We didn't say that didn't happen. We just said we didn't find enough evidence to clear the evidentiary bar that we would need to prosecute or to settle or what have you. So like the idea that they looked into Tim Donaghy and looked into whether he was a compulsive gambler or that he was gambling, and we got on the phone with with Borgata, and we got on the phone with Bellagio, and they all cleared it. I mean, putting in a phone call is one thing, and another is like, can we actually like see the cameras, or like, here's what he looks like. Let's actually get into investigating whether Tim Donaghy was in your casino playing cards or gambling or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think it's a truth-seeking body, right? It's like, I used to work at a resort and they had resort police. And nobody really knew. I mean, I was a college student. I didn't like look into it deeply, but it was like, is it a real police force? Do they have like paid by taxes, or are they paid for by the resort? Like, so the resort police would show up if you had a party, or if you were like, you know, sleeping outside, or something that would like hurt the property values, right? But did they have any actual authority to do anything? Like, I don't think so. But they just had to look authoritative enough that they could have a reason to continue existing, right? What they could do is they could exonerate you, or they could keep the bad stuff from getting to the newspaper, right? They just make the resort more valuable. So to me, like, this is the sports investigations are resort police. Like, they don't give a fuck about catching the bad guys. They just don't want the NBA brand to look bad. So most things are swept under the rug, or if it comes out from under the rug, then they're like, oh boy, we're taking this very, very seriously. And they list off David Stern back in the early days of Donaghy listed off like their affiliates with like the DEA, and he listed off like all the 3 letters, and it's like, well, what the fuck good was all that? Everyone in Vegas knew about this. The lines were moving like huge amounts. Like every gambler knew, and like you guys either did know and swept it under the rug, or didn't know because all of your 3-letter things were altogether worth absolutely fucking nothing.
Well, also the Pedowitz report came out like a couple years later. And that's what I'm wondering is like, do you think, Henry, we're going to get a Pedowitz report equivalent in the aspiration case? Or do you think this is one of those, the investigation is closed and, you know, this is our findings and we're moving along. We're moving forward.
I mean, that report would need to be like 70 pages long or so. And I don't know if there's like, you can dance on the head of a pin for that long. You know what I mean? Because they're going to have to like not talk about everyone who had their voice altered on Pablo Torre finds out, right? Like, I mean, look, maybe they're going to drop the hammer. Maybe, you know, I have my doubts, but if they drop the hammer, then I think, yeah, we get a report. But if they are going to sweep it all under the rug, then I don't see why they would. I thought that DeMaurice Smith, DeMaurice Smith, did I say his name? DeMaurice?
Yes.
I thought that interview with Pablo was like incredible. Like, I thought he was so smart and enlightening, and he kind of articulated how these investigations work. And it has always felt like that to me. Like sports investigations, like they need to let the adults do the investigations, right? Like these private law firms who do this, they're just taking orders from the client.
But the crazy thing is, Henry, is we're in a weird place. First of all, they always come out with a report, don't they? Don't we always get the Wachtell kind of write up? And this is what we found, and this is what people said.
We got one with Sarver, didn't we?
We got one with Sarver. We got one with the Mavericks. We got one with Portland. Billy Hunter. We got one with Neil O'Shea in Portland.
We did? We have Neil O'Shea one?
We didn't get that one?
I don't think I've seen that one. I would like to read that one. Maybe maybe it was like an early one. By the way, did he die or something? What the fuck happened to Neil O'Shea?
I've heard that the specter of O'Shea is circling, and it's about to to get reintroduced, because that's how it goes. You just go away a little bit, you come back, and there's a whole brand new cast of villains that have happened.
You walk around and you have a different girlfriend for a while, and then they bring you back.
Yep.
Well, the Pedowitz report was interesting. Well, first of all, that was a Wachtell Lipton production.
Yeah.
Lawrence Pedowitz came from Wachtell Lipton, former prosecutor, turned independent, quote unquote, investigator for the league. And I remember one thing that was really interesting to me was Jeff Lauro, the Donaghy lawyer, did not allow Tim Donaghy, or Tim Donaghy refused to be interviewed by Pedowitz. I mean, there's no subpoena when it comes to, or there's no compulsion. He doesn't have to sit down for an interview with the league. But one of the things Jeff Laura did say to the NBA in their investigation was Tim Donaghy would like everyone to know that the referee department is just rotten with nepotism. Right. And that was one of the charges from Tim Donaghy. Was like, hey, if you want to look into the referee department, like all the relationships, like everyone's related to each other. I'm the nephew of an NBA referee, and the NBA, in response to that, said we're going to go in and interview a bunch of the executives with the referee department and ask them, hey, did nepotism play a role in such and such as hiring practices in the NBA referee department? And the interesting thing is not that they denied it. All the executives within the referee department were like, no, we hired Tim Donaghy based on merit, and Jimmy Capers, and it's JB DeRosa, the son of an NBA referee. These were all based on merit and not because, they're related to their to a former NBA referee. My favorite detail in that is that the executives that they interviewed,
Joe Borgia, son of Sid Borgia,
were sons of NBA referees. Joe Borgia, who's running the referee department, said, no, there's nothing to see here. We absolutely did not hire based on who their father is or who their uncle is or their cousin. And he himself, Joe Borgia, was a former NBA referee who rose up into the ranks of the manager department with the referees, and he is the son of a legendary, dare I say, Hall of Famer referee named Sid Borgia. And I'm just sitting there like, really? Yeah. This is how we're conducting this investigation.
This is the Chris Cody on the Dan Le Batard show. Whenever someone brings up something like that, he always chimes in, he works hard, right? Because Chris Cody, of course, is the product of the nepotism of Greg Cody. But I think here's the funny thing about the Donaghy case, and maybe that ties into all the stuff we're going to talk about today. Ultimately, the thing that is wrong or evil about them, or relatively evil, is usually true, but it's just attached to so many other things that the league is like, never mind, right? So David Stern was right. The dude is a pathological liar. Mm-hmm. He did make up a bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, there was enough connective tissue from Donaghy to other things that you had to kind of just scoop it all out and amputate the whole thing and say, nothing to see here. We talked to all the casinos and we talked to the alphabets and nothing came of it. And I see kind of like the descendant of this happening here where it's like, yeah, we could probably just zero in on the things that are clearly obviously have happened here with the Clippers, but to do so may open the doors for other connective tissues, so it's just easier to be like, nothing to see here.
Yeah, I think that maybe they don't mind. If you were to poll 30 billionaires in secret and say, would you like Steve Ballmer to get in trouble for this? I think you might get 20 plus yeses, but they don't want public trouble, right? They don't want to start this thing where this is like the Senate, right? They don't want to the senators there's some controversy about stock trading and such, right? And it's yeah, maybe we should rein that in, but we don't want people to get embarrassed about it or lose their money, right? We don't want real justice. We just want to kind of, they're there, Ballmer, and behind the scenes he has to pay some extra luxury tax or something, right? Or trade some player away or whatever. But the notion isn't should Ballmer get in trouble. The notion is should billionaires get in public trouble because they bought into the NBA. I think that's where they're pretty united in. Just don't bring us that drama, right? The billionaires are the bosses, right? Adam Silver works for them. You shouldn't be bringing them drama. So they have to kind of get good at. My favorite little thing that I just learned about is referee Eric Lewis gets in trouble for having a burner account where he praises Eric Lewis all the time. Yeah. And then they're investigating Eric Lewis, big investigation underway. Then Eric Lewis retires, so they curtail the investigation. Yeah. Then they just reinstate him.
Then he comes back, yeah. Now, I have to, full disclosure, Eric Lewis, one of the many referees who has expressed great love and admiration for Amin Elhassan at Summer League. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Yeah. The refs love me.
I love that.
And I can't narrow down why, but they just do. So I gotta stick up for.
Yeah,
I wish.
Grandfather.
Yeah. If he was, you think I'd be sitting here talking to you, Jamal? I'd be living the good life. No,
rough life. Yeah.
I had my own. I had heard at the time. This was a couple years ago. The Eric Lewis story. I had heard at the time that he was getting suspended for multiple years. And so I went to the league office and I went to get confirmation. And let me just say they shot it down and said, "You've got bad info." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Really?" Because I have multiple sources saying that he got in big trouble and is going to be suspended. And then I was told I had bad info. I refreshed my page and it said Eric Lewis has resigned. I was
my God. So you got him fired. Nice job, Tom.
I might have gotten fired is what or just suspended for a year.
He's all right.
I don't know. But he got reinstated. Yeah. How long was his time off?
He was at 2 years. 2020, sometime in 2023, he retired. In 2025, he was reinstated.
Because I had heard he was going to be suspended for 2 years. So,
so that kind of lines up pretty well. Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
But he was reinstated and was working NBA games in short order.
Well, campus police totally cleared him. Yeah.
Resort police.
I don't know, guys.
They did catch the lawnmower being on fire, though. So
I think he does a good job. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, who is it? Kevin Cutler also. You think he's a very, very good referee?
Look, dude, if I listed them, we'd be here all day long. Like, I'm not talking about one or two. You know what I think it is? I think it starts with, I know who the two originals were. The two originals were Monty McCutcheon and Joe Crawford.
Yeah.
And Joe Crawford. Those are the two. Yeah. And I think they've just been spreading the gospel of Amin throughout the entire But like, it's guys, man, I remember when I was on the Jump, there was a dude that came up to me and he was, because it was at G League Showcase. And he said, "Man, you roasted my guy so-and-so." And like all of us, that clip went viral among all the G League refs. Like, because he was the guy I roasted had gotten like the call up or whatever. And so they were like, "Oh shit, you're on the big time. He's talking about you." So like, it's like a grassroots thing. But I still think the original two, Joey Crawford and Monty McCutcheon.
Yeah. Well, Monty, actually, let's talk about Monty McCutcheon for just a second. He also talks to me every time I ever see him, and he's always wearing a very interesting outfit, right? Yes. Kind of a natty dresser. But he's a personality type where he's the kind of guy who remembers everybody's name and he reads everybody, and he always has a nice thing to say, right?
Yep.
And he communicates with that he's never going to rock the boat, right? Like Monty McCutcheon would succeed at any business, right? Because he's got your birthday and he's got whatever, and that works in the NBA. Right? Is because the main thing is you're not going to piss off Steve Ballmer, are you? Like Steve Ballmer is not at all afraid of anyone who's like Monty McCutcheon. And I love Monty McCutcheon. He seems like a great, decent man. I'm sure he's a great husband, dad, whatever. But like, he's not going to roll up his sleeves and get into like what was supposed to happen, or you know what I mean, or how this thing was rigged or whatever. Right? He didn't expose Tim Donaghy, and he's never going to. Right? I say, maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, my sense is that he's a little bit of a clue to how the NBA works too.
Monty also dresses like someone who in the 1940s would have to testify before Senate. Like
absolutely,
he comes in with his bowler hat and his.
And
like if he was not.
Yeah.
If he was not on Boardwalk Empire, the show,
yeah.
That would be stunning to me. But Henry, you detailed in this piece on TrueHoop.com. Definitely subscribe for those who are listening. Henry, you detailed like kind of your history with working on stories that you're just going back and forth with the league on.
You know that feeling, Tom. You know that feeling, yeah.
Well, in particular, the Eric Lewis story is one of those where it's like, I think I have a story and I'm about to break it. And then there's this back and forth. And then it turns out the league was like technically correct that I had quote unquote bad info because he ended up retiring and he wasn't suspended. But as we know now, he didn't actually retire. He's right back. right?
They're run by lawyers, man.
What the Kushner story, when you were going back and forth with Mike Bass in the league office, why was that so troubling for the league? Like, why were they going to bat to make sure that story didn't get out? Is this is the same Josh Kushner that just bought the Lakers?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a great question. I don't know, but it definitely triggered some 5-alarm fires over there, right? And they went banana. I mean, I honestly, I would tell you the whole story, which is a good one, except I don't remember what was like on and off the record here in real time. But I'll tell you that like one of the steps that they sent me through was like, you know, basically they're like, everything that you're saying to us is complete BS, and you're going to be, you know, egg on your face if you publish this. To get the real truth, you have to call this guy. And they gave me the name of a guy, and like that guy was on vacation. And while I'm trying to reach that guy, the local paper breaks the story with like a very saccharine version without all the juicy details, you know? And then as soon as that one breaks, then the New York Times has a version of it. And then my version, which has like the juicy details, is now like, it kind of gets lost a little bit in this, you know what I mean? Like but they bought this time with just like, oh no, you have to talk to this guy. And then when I later talked to that guy's colleague, he's like, that guy doesn't know anything about this. I don't know why you called him.
And they probably knew he was on vacation.
Oh,
like,
for
yeah,
sure.
like,
That's the whole reason I had to call him. Yeah. Also, there was just a lot of, it was such a silly, like, it was just this very stupid day of my life where the story was done and it was ready to go. And I just was fucking running little errands to try to appease the NBA. And they were all big waste of time.
Did you, at what point did you realize, oh, they got me? Was it when the other stories came out, or did you realize it before then?
I mean, I had been got so many times by them that I suspected it before I even picked up the phone.
Got it.
But then I started kind of a policy of like, you know, you're going to give them the story at like, let's say, you know, 7 a.m. and tell them you're going to publish at 10 a.m. To try to bracket the fuckery, right? You're trying to, but you know, they got some game, you know, they got some pretty good game and ways they can throw tacks in the road during that window. And so I don't remember, you know, that was my attempt to reduce this. And I had been working on it for a while. I had quite a lot of detail, including stuff that I'm positive the NBA didn't know about, you know, how this all began. But now I'm at the point where like, it's just a joke that you would call Mike Bass. I just like, what like, is he possible? He has no interest whatsoever in helping the public understand the NBA, right? It's just.
Well, he does. It's just he wants them to understand it the way they want to be understood.
No, but if the only motivation is like, oh, this will be interesting for fans, he's like, I don't have fucking time for that. Yeah, I'm busy. You know, like he has to get on the phone. He's the boss, right? They have a big staff. He has to get on the phone if it affects Josh Kushner, and Josh Kushner's close to Adam Silver, and this is a sensitive one. You know, like by the time he's on the phone, he's here to like get out his big fire hose and just start hosing things down.
Yeah. He's doing what he's supposed to do. If he did anything else, we'd be like, man, you're terrible. Thanks for the info, but you're terrible at your job.
Well, I'll tell you.
It's like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
It's like the Daktronics, they hired a crisis management team, which, by the way, we found out was kind of roundabout came from Ballmer.
Yeah.
And when they called the guy, the crisis management dude, he's talking about, this whole Walktail Lipton shit. We're like, what the fuck? Like, he just gave us the. Now, for our purposes, thank you very much. That was very helpful. But if I'm Daktronics, I don't know if that guy's still employed, but I'm like, you gotta get rid of him, man. Your whole point is supposed to divert people away from the fires, away from the man behind the curtain, and into where we want you to be, in this nice little waiting room. So in many ways, Henry, I don't know if you could be. I don't know. Mike Bass does his job very well, is what I would say, because his job is not to explain to people how the NBA works. His job is to corral attention to the NBA to certain sectors.
So, I mean, I think that in a short-term view, you're right. But after this Memphis thing, I called the league and said, I'm never calling Mike Bass again. And then I learned that I had joined an illustrious list of big name NBA journalists who have already made that phone call, which means this campus police does not have the ability to say, don't worry, that party was no big deal. Because whatever they say, most of the NBA, a lot of the NBA press corps is like, I don't give a fuck what campus police says.
Right.
This episode is brought to you by Google Chrome. You think you know a browser, but Gemini and Chrome? That's new. It can help you with practically anything on the web, like restoring a vintage motorcycle from a 50-page restoration blog, or finally break down that long article you've had open for weeks. Gemini and Chrome is here for it. Ready to make anything online make sense? There's no place like Chrome. Check responses, setup required, compatibility and availability varies, 18+.
Runners, get ready to turn up your miles in the Brooks Ghost Amp. Dial up every push-off with propulsive spring ramp tech, while DNA Hype cushioning helps amplify your energy so you can push the pace. Run louder, feel faster, have fun. Are you down to turn it up? Shop the Ghost Amp today at brooksrunning.com.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
I'm not giving up. I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop!
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
And this is where I would point you to his predecessor, Brian McIntyre. We're getting in the weeds here, but it's fun. Brian McIntyre had the job before Mike Bass. Brian McIntyre was a different generation, different kind of guy. He used to sell... he made his own magazines that he sold outside the stadium in Chicago that were unlicensed. And it was so new in the NBA that David Stern was like, I like this kid's moxie. And he made him beefy in the NBA. But so that was Brian McIntyre. When I was new in the big job at ESPN, Brian McIntyre came back to help out at the finals. And I forget what it was. I mean, now we're talking 2014 or 15 or something.
Right.
And Mike Bass was giving me hell on something. It might have been a Tom story. I don't know. It wasn't. I wasn't writing. It was on.
That makes sense.
Something. He's giving me absolute hell on something, and Brian happened to be there. And I was like, "Hey, Brian, can I just pick your brain about this thing? I said this, and Mike said that, and blah blah." And he's like, "What now?" And Brian asked me some questions, and he's like, "Hold on 1 second." And then he walks over 20 feet, and he's like, "Mike, what the fuck?" And just lays into Mike, big time, in front of a whole bunch of people. And he comes back, and he's like, "Let me know if you have any more problems with Mike."
And that's why that motherfucker don't fuck with you anymore.
I miss Brian every day. And actually, I'm turning into story time. But let me tell you how I met Brian McIntyre. I was a freelancer for Hoop magazine when Hoop had been taken over in a hostile takeover because of the airbrush tattoos, right?
Right.
So Brian McIntyre ran the group.
Wait,
ran Hoop.
for the younger people, who's airbrush tattoos?
So these crazy people. I forget what year this was, 2000 or something.
2001. It was right around the MVP year.
Yeah, they put Allen Iverson on the cover of their NBA official magazine, but they removed his tattoos in post, which is a pretty wild thing, without his permission. So then to dusty up a little credibility with black fans, they hired the originating editorial staff of Slam magazine to run the NBA's official magazines. And that was this guy, Tony Gervino, and his managing editor, Anna Gebbe, who I went to high school with, which is how I got my break, because she called me then and said, we just learned we can't use any of our existing freelancers. I know you do real news. Can you please do this one story for us? And I was like, okay, fine. Next thing you know, I'm at the All-Star game. which was the one in 2001, I think, which was in
DC.
the Bay. No, the Bay. So it was 2000.
Bay was 2000.
2000. Yeah. So 2000, the Bay. And I'm a freelancer. I'm getting paid by the word, and I have to get like a lot of stories in the magazine to justify all this time I'm spending there. And there'd been a big battle with Hoop magazine taking over. There was battles on every front. One of them was on credentials. And my guy, Tony, my editor, successfully argued that us working for the magazine should get official credentials and not journalist credentials. It got us in a couple places like the Player Hotel, a couple places where we couldn't otherwise ordinarily go.
Right.
So the first time I met Brian McIntyre, I kid you not, it's after the All-Star game on Sunday, and I'm like, I don't know how, I'm young. I'm busting into the locker room because I got to try and interview Allen Iverson for some story I'm doing, whatever it is. And Brian McIntyre's standing there, and he's looking at every credential, and then he sees an official credential, and he goes, boop, and he puts his hand on my chest, and he's like, sorry, journalist only in here. He's waiting for me and other freelancers. And I'm like, you motherfucker. And I'm like,
he Uno card you back. He hit the reverse.
I had a moment of my life where I like walked back out to the court, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like I got to finish the story. This is kind of like we're getting on planes at 6 a.m. tomorrow, you know, like I got to do this. And I'm like, just got to go back. And I literally just like walked back, and he was still there. I just walked right by him. He didn't say shit. And I interviewed Allen Iverson.
Wait, so was he just fucking with you, or what was the?
I think he was fucking with me. I think he wanted to fuck with Tony. But I also think that by coming back, I think it was just, I was going to be difficult enough, right? I think it was just like, do you want to spend, he was an older man, you know, and how much time does he want to spend fighting with Henry Abbott about this stupid thing, you know? It was actually a stupid thing, is the point. Anyway, yeah, what were we talking about today?
I think what I want to get, Henry, is like you've been covering the league for a very long time and know how they operate in ways that that only from all the battles you've had with the league you can understand just how they're going to operate on big stories like this. And they've got a couple big stories right now. Mm-hmm. They've got the ownership, you know, the teams are flipping like crazy. You've got Mark Lowry buying the Minnesota Timberwolves with A-Rod and then turning around a year later after finally getting the team. You have the psychic value of going to the Minnesota Timberwolves games with Anthony Edwards and palling around and being courtside. I'm the king of this castle. And then flips it within a year for $4.5 billion valuation to a guy who was a minority investor, already invested, and then finally took controlling interest. And then same thing with Mark Walter. And I want to say, like, man, the NBA on one hand has to be like ecstatic because the chart just keeps going up on the valuations. But as we talked about, like, these are all now one of the owners of the prize, the crown jewel of the NBA, the Lakers, is embroiled in a federal investigation, and it seems to be selling off assets like crazy. And that can't be a good PR story. And then there's the gambling controversy where Terry Rozier, multiple players, Malik Beasley, Terry Rozier, and an NBA coach Hall of Famer, Chauncey Billups, is ensnared in a federal, it was indicted by the feds for gambling charges, among other things. And then you have the Ballmer story, and it just seems like the NBA, as you've been covering the league, how do they respond to all of this? Because I would say this is all bad PR for the league, that the brand is taking a hit here. The integrity of the game is definitely compromised in the sense of the public opinion, where you have multiple gambling stories, allegations, Jonte Porter notwithstanding. Is this summer of Adam, like Ethan Strauss has called it, is this a good summer for Adam, or is this a bad summer for Adam? That all these things, yes, the valuations are going up, but at what expense? Like, does it feel like the business of the NBA is as good as it's ever been, or does it feel like, man, we're on the precipice of something?
Of course, it's the latter, right? I have always wondered why they always had sports leagues run by corporate lawyers from a small set of law firms, right? They're always from Koskauer Rose or Skadden Arps or just a very short list of firms. And I don't know, maybe started 5 or 6 years ago, I started writing that I thought it was because they're used to billionaires as clients and they make problems go away, right? And I think this is what's happening this summer is it has long struck me that the league under Stern and Silver, had the campus police appearance of, the resort police appearance of, protecting the game and being about these ethics and stewardship and all this kind of razzmatazz that they gave lip service to. But really they were doing what the most difficult, powerful, connected billionaires wanted them to do. And there's all sorts of evidence of this behind the scenes. But I think this summer, probably you blame Pablo and Amin for no small part of this, but it just became pretty clear that, the notion that they're here to be law enforcement just looks funnier and funnier. It's just like, come on, come on. like this, if it really does emerge like the ESPN report says it's going to emerge, that they're like, oh, we just couldn't establish that, he was paying Kawhi this way. There are some weirdos on Twitter who will believe that, but everyone else is going to be like, what the fuck? You cannot honestly expect us to believe that. So yeah, it has long lacked credibility to me, and it's just getting more and more overt.
But I think that's the part that's a little shocking for me, Henry, as I don't think I was ever under the illusion that these people were these moral high ground of stewards of the game or whatever. But they just weren't blatant with it, right? I compare to speeding, right? Speed limit is 55. No one's doing 55.
Yeah.
We're doing 65. You're doing 67. You may even do 70. But when someone comes by doing 100, you're like, damn, that guy's going to get pulled over. And you see there's no repercussion. Mm-hmm. Guy weaving in and out of traffic with 100. And that's the part about this, what made the Clippers' alleged cap circumvention activity. It's just the depth of how complex and how far we'll go to set this thing up in a way that's, okay, they don't have them like a bag of money with a dollar sign on it being handed over. Oh, they got us. But it's tantamount to that. It's just you send it on a little trip to South Dakota. You send it on a little trip to wherever Joe Sandberg is from. And then it's like, oh, no, we didn't do anything. The idea that it could be this egregious and we're still going to walk away and say, none of this actually matters is staggering to me. And then the other side of this, to be honest with you, the cap circumvention thing is staggering, but not quite staggering. It makes sense to me. The thing that I can't wrap my head around is, because I think the thing that has a real chance of eroding the structure of our league is this condo flipping. This idea that for generations, the people who came to buy teams were, yes, billionaires, but they were billionaires that like, I fucking love basketball, bro. I wish I had my own team. Oh, my God, we do this and that. Oh, I wish I could invite all these greats to the game to come to my house, to my birthday party, whatever. And now it's like the Mark Lowry one is worse than Mark Walter to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Mark Walter at least seems to like sports. It's just he's got himself in some trouble, and now he's got to do whatever he can to get himself out. Mark Lowry is literally like, oh, this is cool. I'd rather work on this app over here. Like, he just saw this thing as a place to park money that'll get some more money out of it later. There's no part of him that gave a shit about any of this. I'm convinced of that. He didn't give a shit about Minnesota, which is cool. Didn't give a shit about basketball. It was just, hey, want to invest $1 billion and make 3 times as much in 5 years? I got the thing for you. And what we are witnessing now, I think what we're hurtling towards is this world where there's no other place where I could say, give me $1 billion, and I guarantee you it will come back several times fold. There's no investment in the world where this exists, except in sports. Buy this, it'll be worth more in a couple of years. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Take it to any stock, any bond, whatever. Nothing as much as solid guarantee as this. And so now we're attracting this sort of new owner who doesn't give a shit about shit and is basically here to flip and turn a buck out of it. And I guess the question, this long preamble, Henry, is who will save us from this?
I don't know. But I don't know if I agree that they're here for the money. I kind of wish they were. I think that the people who are putting up this money for teams are the same people who are in this kind of offshore money world that is the source of money for like the venture capital industry or the private equity industry, right? So, and those things are filthy, right? Like, you know, Leon Black wants to run Apollo Global and he has to go meet one-on-one with Vladimir Putin, reportedly, right? Why is that? Like, what's up with that? Why is that who you meet with, right? Or Jared Kushner's building his fund and he has to meet with Kirill Dmitriev and Khaldun from the UAE, et cetera. Like, the big money is in a big rat's nest with intelligence and mob and just the way things are offshored. And, you know, Mark Walter could afford $10 billion for the Lakers, most likely because he had a very dodgy insurance empire that if he ran it legitimately, he wouldn't have that much money. Right. So I think that what's happening is that everybody, Adam Silver, LeBron James, all these people are little peons in the world of big money. And so Adam had a choice as this happened in the world to say, hey, look, we can just be a league with a smaller footprint and lower valuations. And we'll set up some rules about who can buy a team. And we're going to really inspect your finances. And we're going to resort police the shit out of this. Right. But instead he was like, they just have had this sliding scale of like, yeah, you can have private equity. Yeah, you can have sovereign wealth funds. And now I gather right now there's maybe even some move to like loosen those rules further. This league of lawyers to me has by and large just said yes to whatever will make the most money like today and like the most short term now. Gambling, sure, whatever. Like they bring in everything that turns a buck. And then later they just kind of make the report. They issued the report about how everybody did a great job. And so to me, the problem is in finance. And what we need there is actual law enforcement, not resort police. And that probably is going to take several high-level changes in the world besides just the NBA.
I mean, as you were talking about, like, you long for the days that the owner would be so excited to be an NBA owner, going to the game courtside and like just having generational ownership over the team. And the irony of that is the one guy that I think is like that, it seems, like really loves being an NBA owner is Steve Ballmer.
Yeah. No, I mean, look,
like it's just, we lost Mark Cuban and it's like, man, we lost Jeannie Buss, or it seems like we might be losing the Buss family from this equation. And we lost Mark Cuban, who and we lost Michael Jordan. We lost Wick Grousbeck and all these other NBA owners from previous generations. And the one guy that I keep going back to is like, man, he really loves being an NBA owner because he loves the NBA and loves being courtside, is the very one we're talking about here in Steve Ballmer.
Well, we got Tom Dundon.
The other one is Matt Ishbia. The other one is Matt Ishbia, who loved basketball so much that he is literally mortgaging his mortgage company, risking it all to buy the team and to continue to provide. Like, he's the type of owner that we theoretically want, but he's sacrificed his business for this team.
JP Morgan will have a say in that. Yes. Well, I mean, I think Matt Ishbia is a good example of like, man, that's a cool story. As a guy who played basketball at Michigan State, realizes his dream.
A grinder.
Realizes his dream of being an NBA owner. And then the time when he took the ball away from
Jokic.
Nikola Jokic, I just kind of was like, whoa, that was weird. And then now we're learning that the stock price is tanking and he's got to figure out a way to make up the difference. And it seems like he's not going to be selling the Phoenix Suns anytime soon, but it just seems like NBA teams are no longer just a psychic value of having an NBA team and I want this castle. I want to buy this castle and live in it for the rest of my years. It seems like it's something that you can flip and sell your castle for a profit. But Henry, you're saying there's other reasons why the Matt Ishbias of the world would want an NBA team, or Kushner of the world want an NBA team. that goes beyond just flipping it.
It feels to me a little bit like, let's say you're in high school and you have a crush on this beautiful woman and you want to ask her to the prom, and then you finally do ask her to the prom, and she's kind of like, okay. She knows you're infatuated, right? But she's like, okay, like, I will go to the prom with you. And then between that moment and the prom, she takes a minute to be like, well, this other guy offered me $500 to go to the prom. like what I'm getting at here is it's a transaction from one side. It's a transaction from the billionaire side. It's always a transaction when it's that much money, right? But it's a passion on the other side. And you just look stupid if you think it's a passion from them, right? It never was, not from Dr. Buss, not from whoever your legendary favorite owner is. Like, it was always a transaction. And one of the things that they get in the transaction is a bunch of goodwill. They get stadiums full of people who also have Twitter accounts who just defend them. And that's part of what they're purchasing. And I think if you're doing some pretty shady shit, like we're going to find out about Mark Walter, like I don't think it's controversial to say he's been doing some pretty shady shit. Like, it's helpful to have Laker fans on his side. That's a Benny, right? It's where there was more to him than they would be to someone who had more conservative insurance investments, right? Like
no one's sticking up for like, United Healthcare, right? In this case, if you were,
yeah, exactly.
Well, so Henry, before we let you go, I have a question that maybe you have some insight into this. Why is he so quick to sell the Lakers, but still holding on to the Dodgers? It seems like at this point, I mean, in 1 hour, we could find out that he's putting the Dodgers up for sale. Do you have is it just that the Lakers is more liquid, that they could sell it right away for 12.5 and that's a quick, easy getaway? Or is there more to it that you can see why the Dodgers don't seem to be as expensive as the Lakers, but he was quicker to get rid of the Lakers?
I mean, one theory would be that when you can call Adam Silver and he has very, very trusted close friends in Bob Iger and Josh Kushner ready to go, that's nice. 3 days, they said, it's done. But I suspect the bigger deal is that, this guy, Nick Nemeth, I've become a big fan of, who's gone way down the rabbit hole. But there's something with that Dodgers broadcast network, which has been on paper valued at an absolutely bananas amount, which I think is kind of floating the Dodgers. And this is why they can afford $700 million for Shohei Ohtani and this kind of stuff. So
they can afford it because they're not paying them right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all layaway.
But there's like that business is more important to the overall portfolio than the Lakers because of, just go read the article. Don't take my word for it. But
mispriced assets, right?
Mispriced assets is the Nick Nemeth thing. And that's something to do with that Dodgers local broadcast deal is absolutely bananas.
But the juicy part is if this Genie Bus shit continues, then he won't get that quick 3-day money from Iger and Kushner, and then he might have to sell the Dodgers anyways. Also, Tom, he's won World Series titles. He's owned them for a decade. It's more of a long-term relationship, He literally just got into this with the Lakers. He was starting to combine forces, so it's easier to let that one go. I think he still thinks that he can raise the money and keep the Dodgers for now.
Yeah, so if we can come up with the money and I can keep the Dodgers, then everything's great.
Everything's great.
He's got a lot of assets. He's got the Formula One team and Chelsea. There's so many. And there's is there a rugby team or something? He's got some crazy stuff. Anyway, the rugby team is not going to bring a lot of money, but he has a lot of ways to raise money.
Aww. Henry, how do you think Mark Cuban feels to have missed out on this boom?
Why do you think he sold? Wow. It doesn't make any sense, right?
Isn't it exactly what you just said? Like, hey, I'll go to prom with you, and then someone said, "All right, I'll give you $500." Like, never mind.
But to me, Jeannie right now is going through it feels to me from a distance that she's like, what? Who am I? What's my role in life if I don't have the Lakers? It's hurtful to her to be without. I think Mark's going through the exact same thing where he's like, it's not as fun to be a pharma executive. It's a lot more fun to be that guy, right? And I know the valuations went up, but it feels a little more like, dude, I could have told him, the second I saw that report, I'm like, oh, Mark, what are you going to do now? He's he's still emailing Pablo about the NBA, right? Like, like he can't put it down. It is the definition of identity thing for him. So yeah, to me, just wait, just sell him when you're 75 and you really actually want to just go be on the yacht.
In a weird way, the whole Buss family fallout is probably giving him more reason why he says the reason why he sold the Mavs was because he didn't want his kids to have to deal with all the drama of and the blowback of owning an NBA team. And he was waiting for the Buss family to have this thing because now he can be like, see, told you, that's what I was protecting my kids from. When we all know, like, come on. Is there anything like, I know we're all dumb sports fans, but like, is there anything more fun than like owning the keys to an NBA franchise? That seems like an awesome time. Just turn off your mentions if you anyway.
Shit.
Truth.com, Henry Abbott. Thank you, friend. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun. And once another team sells, can't wait to read what you have and have you back on.
Do you think that we should have a whole Brian McIntyre podcast? Oh wait, we just did.
We just did.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop!
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Cozy season is ahead, and you'll be spending way more time inside. Is your home ready? Don't worry. With Wayfair, you can upgrade your space without breaking the bank. Score up to 70% off during their Labor Day clearance on furniture, area rugs, mattresses, and more. Plus, surprise flash deals you can't miss. Whether it's one room or the whole house, Wayfair has pieces for every style and budget.
Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 7th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
At ZocDoc, we know being a healthy adult is like living in a video game. Every day has side quests, taxes, laundry, birthdays, and just when you're leveling up, you have to book a doctor. The insurance portal crashes, they put you on hold, your doctor doesn't take your plan, game over. We see you, so we made booking a doctor easy. Download ZocDoc, search by specialty, insurance, and availability. Book instantly, no cheat codes required. Find a doctor you love with ZocDoc.